We are outside Fairfax High School, public high school in Los Angeles, where teachers, parents, and students are part of a teacher strike for higher pay, smaller class sizes, less standardized testing, and more resources for the city's public schools. As you can hear, a lot of people have come out this morning, even though it is a very rainy and, by Los Angeles standards, cold winter morning.
My name is Katie Andrews, and I teach 9th and 12th grade English here at Fairfax High School. We're striking today for a number of reasons. Number one, we're striking for lower class sizes. We don't want 36 students in an elementary class. We don't want 46 students in secondary classes. We're also striking for a pay raise for teachers that keeps up with cost of living increase. We're striking to keep education public and in the community. We're striking so that we aren't taken over by charters and corporations and everything. In New Orleans, my home state is Louisiana, charters have taken over the entire city. There's no more public schools left in New Orleans. And what happens is like education shouldn't be controlled by corporations. Businesses and business people like Austin Butner don't have any business and have no experience coming in here and setting educational standards and rubrics and everything. Leave that to the professionals. Leave it to teachers to teach.
Now, did you plan on having 30 years of policy culminate on an incredibly rainy morning? Could you have picked a better day, you think?
Oh, I totally planned for that. Sure, yeah. No, we picked the day, and we were supposed to actually start last Thursday. We didn't know when it was actually going to start. It was pushed back to today and everything. And you know what? I think the rain just actually strengthens our resolve, because if we didn't believe in this, we wouldn't be here. You know, I'm freezing, and we're here, and we're going to stay here until we get what we deserve and what teachers deserve, what kids deserve, what our community deserves.
So we've seen teacher strikes across the country. We've seen them in places like Oklahoma and West Virginia. Like, these are very different places. Like, what do you think ties these different movements together?
I think actually what ties us all together is the fact that this has culminated in a big fight against freedom of intellectual freedom versus money and everything. I think it culminates in the fact that we need to be free to teach, and students need to be free to learn without the aggressive oversight and coercion of money from big business.
So you're an English teacher. What are some of the books your students are reading right now?
We're reading the Odyssey.
Oh, come on. Ugh, that is so tough.
Well, it actually is better because I actually bought with my own money, and I'm a teacher, so what I do, I bought a graphic novel of the Odyssey, and it's beautiful, it's full color and everything, and kids just get right into it. And we also read Romeo and Juliet, and I know you're going to say, oh, that's so tough. Yeah, it's tough, but I bought also with my own money a side-by-side version, which means it has Elizabethan English on one side and regular contemporary English on the other side. And it's like, we do this, we spend our money because we want to help kids and everything. And it's like when the textbook isn't enough, we go above and beyond. And this is why when teachers like buy stuff with their own money, we deserve a pay raise, because we're here to help. It's what we do. We are helpers.
One last question. There is a difference between a state like California and a state like West Virginia or a state like Oklahoma, which is that California is a high-tax state. This is already a really expensive place to live, and you feel that as one of the big sources of tension, right? What do you think is driving the fact that even in a place like California, where taxes are already so high, the teachers are still having to take money out of their own pockets to buy school supplies, and parents are already paying so much just to be in these school districts? How do you make that argument to parents that schools still need more resources? And what do you think about that challenge?
I think that throwing money at education is always a good idea, because it's not just us. It's not here at Fairfax. It's not just here in California. It's nationwide. Overall, over the past several years, education has been cut and cut and cut. Any state budget, education is always the first to be cut and everything. When you put more money in education, it's like we all do better, we all do better.
So we know the strike stands for a lot of different things. It stands for a lot of different things for the teachers and for us as students. The teachers want to put the students first, and of course we support that. We want to see our class sizes decrease, because here at our school, and we know across many LAUSD schools, that massive class sizes beyond what is contracted to be the limit is like it's a very pervasive issue in this district, and we want to see that our education is improved by smaller class sizes, and also not just in terms of our education in the classroom, but also for the support that is available on campuses. So nurses, counselors, librarians, we want to see them more often on our campus and giving more to the school and to our educational experience.
So if you were in class today, if you were in school today, what would have been the biggest class size like of your day?
I'm not exactly sure. Maybe like 40, 50 students in a classroom. We had class sizes where some students had to sit on the floor while the teacher was giving lessons. They would alleviate that problem by like distributing the students to other classrooms, but this class size was still a big problem.
So we're in Los Angeles. This is one of the richest cities, one of the richest countries in the world. And you're saying that in some of your classroom there wouldn't be enough desks and it was so overcrowded that kids had to sit on the ground.
Yeah.
When you're in a class that big, do you find that like only the loud kids that always answer every question talk? Like how many kids are able to actually participate in a class when it's like that big?
Surprisingly, even some of the loud kids can't even talk.
That's horrible. As a loud kid, I find that offensive.
I mean, mainly because the class size is so huge. I guess students feel that, well, it's huge and they kind of get a little embarrassed or like kind of pressured and kind of embarrassed not to talk. And especially for teachers, it's really hard to manage a class size that big. And like materials like paper would run short for their classes. So it's really important that class sizes are decreased.
So you've been teaching here for 20 years, you said?
About 25 years.
How, like, just being honest, do you think the education at this school has gotten worse because of the need for more resources in the time that you've been here?
I mean, there's always going to be numerous factors on why things are more difficult. I would definitely see a decline over these last 25 years, whether it has to do with parent involvement, whether it has to do with student engagement, whether it has to do with lack of supplies. I mean, so there's a bunch of different things. So I would say definitely we need the district to have that support to say, you know what, we need the best teachers to teach the best students so they do well. I mean, I have a kid right now who's actually going to be attending Harvard next fall. You know, and a lot of it is her own work, but a lot of it is, you know, the work we've been doing with her, as well as just support staff, people that, you know, have been encouraging of her. And, you know, we need those type of kids who are motivated, but we need teachers who are motivated. And part of that is feeling supported, feeling that our work counts and our work matters to them. And I believe us as teachers, we do desire that. You know, we want to be out here. We don't want to be out here. We want to be in there. But, you know, so ultimately we're willing to fight for what we feel is important for the students, for the parents, and for our own livelihood.
Why are you out here today?
Essentially, LAUSD is saying that they don't have the money to help pay teachers more because the living costs have gone up as they keep increasing. Student classes have gone up as well, like the size of the number of the size of the students in each and every class has gone up. And they're sitting on $1.6 billion saying that they don't have the money to help pay for more things that the schools have been needing. Teachers have to pay out of pocket for their own school supplies, you know. Our technology, like half of the iPads that we use are broken, half of the laptops don't work. Most of the time you can't even connect to the Wi-Fi. So we have all this technology that we're sitting on that doesn't work. We have all these things that we're sitting on that don't work. Everything in LAUSD is not working right now, and teachers and students have both had enough of it. So we're out here striking today to show Buettner that we've had enough and that he needs to either make a change or get out.
A lot of people are directing their anger at Buettner. Why is that?
Well, Buettner is in the pocket of millionaires. He basically is in favor kind of privatizing education and making it so that, you know, it's more expensive to get an education. Basically, a lot of people have a problem with Buettner because he shouldn't be leading the schools because he's not for the people, he's for himself, and he's in it for the profit, and education is not for profit.
And you have a lock on a choker around your neck, you have a pin in your ear, you have a pretty sick belt, you seem very tough. You seem like you're really bringing it today.
Thank you. Thank you. This is kind of my everyday outfit.
This feels like a protest outfit.
Well, you know, the red shirt is basically my protest outfit. You know, red is the UTLA color, and so, you know, red for the teachers.
So it seems like you would not have a problem making yourself heard in a classroom with 40 kids in it. But do you often find that in a classroom that big that a lot of kids don't get the attention they need?
Exactly. A lot of kids, what ends up happening is that the kids who have the most rambunctious personalities kind of take over the classroom, and teachers aren't able to get out what they need to say, and kids who are struggling, need help, and want to be able to actually learn don't know what's going on, don't have an ability to learn because teachers are more focused on trying to calm down everybody who's riling out. So, you know, yeah, it's a huge problem because you may be like, you know, the most outspoken person, but if three kids are screaming, and you're not going to be able to scream over 3 kids.
So have there any teachers you've clashed with that are out here today that have seen you and have been like, that's cool?
I actually saw an administrator who I kind of clashed with one day when I was having a bad morning. We got into a yelling match. I saw her today, and we kind of made a little bit of eye contact. But other than that, you know.
But was it nice? It was like, look, you know, we're on the same side?
You know, it's like, you know, even people that I've, like, had trouble with online and stuff have, like, you know, been commenting and, like, you know, messaging me about, like, what's going on. Because it's like your personal situations don't matter. This doesn't matter. You need to put everything aside to, you know, for the betterment of the future for everybody, you know?
Yeah. All right. Thank you. That was great. Thank you.